Good afternoon. This is Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends Blogspot. Today is Wednesday, October 4th, 2006. I've got the Nasdaq 100 on the screen right now, looking at a weekly time frame, and great session for the bulls today. I've been a little bit concerned here about. We'll talk about like the MidCap and IWM recently, but they've recovered nicely as well. And this market recovery is looking more like a recovery than it is a bounce within a downtrend. So, looking at this weekly time frame, we had been looking at that, basically 40 and a half or so level as an area where we had the 200-day moving average, we had the two-thirds retracement, and we had this prior resistance, which became support. And it looked like it was going to consolidate in that area, but now the further we get away from that level, the more likely it is that that level is going to act as support when this market does pull back again. So market continues to act real strong. Looking at the Qs on a daily time frame here, you can see that it tested that rising 20-day moving average again yesterday, and it continues to be innocent till proven guilty. We're still going to be concerned once in a while when it shows signs of weakness, but as long as the buyers come back in and take control like they did here and get that market back above that 40-40 level like it did today, and that was the level we were watching, that level right there, it came back above that 5-day moving average as well, and then it was just off to the races for the Qs. So, we were looking today first for a pullback to about 40 and a dime is what I said. We got to pull back to 40.14. Then it pushed past that 40.40. So we had these higher lows, and at this point we had a higher high, and that's really where the buyers again took control. Looking at the SPY, the spiders have attained our target now of 133.5 or 134.5 based on that inverted head and shoulders pattern. But that doesn't mean we have to sell here. It means, hey, a target's hit, so what? What is that target? It's based on an inverted head and shoulders pattern, which is what? It's just, a figment of traders' imagination. Does it mean anything? It only means something if people act upon it. But and not to diminish the value of it, but what we're seeing here, and what's more important than any pattern, is the fact that we've got this series of real nice higher highs and higher lows. So the market continues to do what it's supposed to do in an uptrend. And yesterday we were looking at the S&Ps saying that 133.50 was the key level in here, and I was a little bit concerned that it closed below that 133.50 yesterday. And though today we had a little bit of a pullback, and then it blasted up through that 133.50, and that's really where the buyers took control. It rallied up, it pulled back, and if you look, let's look at a 2-minute time frame to get a better view of that. It rallied up past that 133.50 level, and we can see that 133.50 acted as support. So we saw a rally on heavy volume or increasing volume, low volume consolidation, and then a nice pattern of higher volume on the rallies throughout the day, and followed by lower volume consolidations, and it closed right up near the high. So again, the market continues to act bullish. There's no reason to think that the market's going to reverse course all at once. That's not the way markets usually reverse. Now, the MDY was an area that I've been concerned about, and I see a lot of other people have been starting to talk about that as well. But it's starting to look a little bit more bullish, and I say that because, today we were looking for a pullback to about 136. We got that pullback in here, right at the 50-day moving average, right at that 136 level. And looking at the 10-minute time frame, you can see that taking out yesterday's highs, it created that higher high after a series, these higher lows, puts the buyers right back in control. Now, it's not quite as bullish here as the rest of the market because we've got this 200-day moving average that has acted as as resistance last week, and we've had resistance in this general area. But look at this 50-day moving average, how it's turning higher, and it's acted as support twice in the last week and a half. So the health of these mid-caps are becoming a lot stronger as people start to chase performance. They're going after any stock. So this weekly time frame still looks like a potential bearish flag, and I still think that we've got to clear 140 for it to really become bullish. And when I say really become bullish, I mean to think that the buyers really have control of this longer term time frame, and then we can make a push for the highs in this mid cap. Getting above 140 and holding above there, I would think that we're probably headed up towards this level, towards 143, and then up towards the highs in there as well. So good action overall in the market. Semiconductors, I had outlined the potential yesterday for for a head and shoulders top, and I still think that potential is there. The market bounced off this trend line that I showed yesterday that acts as the neckline as well. But more importantly than an uptrend line is these higher highs and these higher lows rather. So right now we've got a consolidating market. The 10 didn't cross through the 20. It's about to, but it's still pretty much neutral in these semiconductors. I'm still a little bit concerned that the 200-day moving average is declining. It'd be nice to see it get back above that 35.10 level, and then we could think that maybe the semiconductors are going to really recover the way the Nasdaq did, and then we could start thinking about targets up near $38 a share for the SMH. However, it's still early for that. We're still locked in this little series of higher lows and lower highs. So we're getting a little bit of a triangle consolidation, or a symmetrical triangle, you might want to call this. But bottom line is, overall, these semis are in an uptrend. And I'm going to point it out once again that as long as that 50-day moving average is rallying, we're going to look at this market as innocent till proven guilty, but we're going to get concerned once in a while when the market's showing signs of weakness. But overall, the bias is to the upside. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stocks we've been looking at recently. The great thing about this market is there's been awesome opportunity on the long and short side. As far as shorts, position that we had open last Friday, we gotten short this dynamic materials boom at 32.75. I was suggesting last night that I thought the target was down near 28.5 to 29. Where are my notes? 28.5 to 29. Today's low was 28.58, I think, and we saw that. If you saw my post earlier in the day, I had suggested that you cover your short right here at 28.80. I saw big volume. It wasn't going lower anymore, and now it looks like the stock might be due for a little bit of a bounce. Anyways, I suggested you cover half your position at $30 a share, and then intraday 28.80. So there was an opportunity to make about $4 a share on dynamic materials, which is symbol boom. Another stock, let me just show the big winners first, because I know not everyone sticks around to the end of these. But at the end of yesterday's video, I said, listen, I own this stock, so I'm not going to tell you how to play it, but Angeion looks set up nice. It's found support at the 10-day or 20-day moving average. The volume is completely dried up, and this stock ramped higher today. Had a great day, moving from $7 a share to $9.21. Hopefully some of you guys got involved in that. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you another stock that looks almost identical to this. It started moving a little bit today, but it's another low volume stock that is thinly traded, and I think it's poised to do something similar to Angeion. So there's a little bit of reason to stick around to the end of this video. Rambus, we were also short, RMBS, and we were short this stock from 1755 from last Friday. I'd suggested lowering your stop to 1715, and we were stopped out of that with a gain of about 40 cents. Yesterday, ACOR rallied strong. I said that you probably want to take at least half of your profits at that 11.5 target level, and I think right now that you probably ought to be out of this. Maybe there'll be another reason to get involved here, but that was a big winner yesterday and consolidated some of those gains today. EGHT, I had suggested buying above 112. It did get above there. I own this stock now. I bought it, I think, at 112 or 113. I don't remember. But I'm still thinking that it might go on to test this 200-day moving average near $1.40. As the market continues to rally higher, people start looking lower on the totem pole, and that means it junk stocks like EGHT for things to move, and they can move very quickly. And right now, this market seems to be pretty speculative. Look at this CTDC today and yesterday. This is China Development. I traded this thing, didn't get nearly as much out of it as I should have. But anyways, there are stocks that are making big moves out there. AUXL, last night I said we wanted to buy this above $10.40. Had you gotten involved in that stock, you ought to put your stop, I think, right now at about $10.62. It's still looking like it ought to continue up towards my target near $11.50 a share. I didn't draw that too good, but right up there near $11.5. So raise your stop, protect those profits, and if you get stopped out, it'll be with a gain at this point. BEAS, BEAS, I had suggested buying this stock above 15.25. It got above that level. The stop I then suggested was 14.98. I think you can raise that stop to about 15.06, giving us a risk, theoretical risk of about 19 cents. We never know what's going to happen. Maybe it gaps down. I don't know if they have news. I don't check those things. If you're going to be holding these stocks overnight, be sure to check on your own to see if they have earnings due out, because it can change things very rapidly. HGSI had suggested buying above 12.05. You can see that the stock did gap higher today. Where am I? And pulled back to about 12.07. I'm going to say officially we didn't get involved in the stock, although I think that, looking at a 1-minute time frame, probably should have been involved right around 12.20 and then put your stop under the low of the day at that point. If you are in this stock, I'm not going to continue to update it. I still think it's headed towards the target I had suggested yesterday, which was up near 13 and a half. But I think your stop ought to go at about $12.20 right now if you are in it. And like I said, I won't continue to update that one. PWER, this is a stock we looked at yesterday and the day before to buy above 7.25. You can see where that happened. It rallied past that resistance. That resistance became support. I think now that your stop ought to go maybe $7.21 for PWR. Stock's looking good, looking like it ought to continue higher. The new shorts really, they didn't kill us, but we got stopped out of all the ones that we were entered. BUCY, BUCY, I suggested a rally and then a sell short. We got stopped out with about a 32-cent loss. CHRW, this stock we got stopped out of with a 65-cent stop. I suggested selling it short below 43.35. And we had that happen right about here. Our stop was then going to go at 44.10, which was right here. And the only thing I can say that was good about this 65-cent stop is that we're still not in it and still out another $1. So FWLT, small losses and big gainers like Boom and Angeion and ACOR, that's how you make money in the market. No one's going to be right all the time. 38.75 was what we were looking for Foster Wheeler to rally up towards, and then we were going to sell it short below 38.60, which occurred right here. So we had both of those happen. When we also were going to set our stop at 38.93, that occurred right here. You were stopped out with a loss of about 33 cents, and good thing because it kept continuing higher because we're in a very bullish environment here. I'd suggested again looking at Angeion and the other stock, which had a great day, and the other stock that I told you that I owned and I wasn't going to give you any specifics on was Perrigo, symbol PRGO. I still own call options on this, and I'm not going to make any suggestions about it, but I do continue to hold those calls.